Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to World Tanks with VN237. Today we have a Triple Trouble EBR special. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the EBR. If you want to know what the EBR is good and you want me to hear ramble on for God knows how long about the EBR, and how you should play it, what it's good for, go check out my tank review. Basics of what you need to know about the EBR. It's very quick, turns on a knife point, it's a gun, you need to keep in the game. I'd say I'm not going to talk about the EBR anymore because I'm probably going to be sick to death of me talking about it. Today we're going to be showcasing three pretty mediocre games, although situationally I'd say three pretty good games. The first one is here on Ensk, and EBRs on and light tanks on Ensk can do well, but the way you should play this tank probably not. The only things that really do well on Ensk are heavy tanks and arguably medium tanks. But obviously we're going straight to the field. STB EBR batch pattern appears. We have HE preloaded because I was expecting to meet the EBR first instead of a turbocharged STB. As you see, we didn't actually get any spotted from those guys. And my mentality for this game is not scouting. We keep our hit points and we become a pseudo medium tank. We keep our gun in the game to see we've actually got no spotting as their batch has getting ripped to pieces. And my theory is, this for me is the most important flank. I've got to keep these guys spotted, even though I'm not doing any assistance damage at this point. Keep them spotted, we break through this flank, we win. Simple as that. On a city map, obviously light tanks is the enemy EBR appears. We don't connect this shell, unfortunately. The light tanks on city maps are terrible. I think Ensk is probably the worst one. Himmelsdorf you can do because you can work the hill. As you can see, we spot another pattern in the back of the map there, but Ensk is very small. It's very much corridor fighting. There's a lot of bushes, yes, but getting to those bushes, as you can see, there is difficult. You see, we're trying to feather a shot on the EBR. Don't know what that shot was there. I think my brain was lagging. But that's what we're trying to do. See, their TVP is actually broken through into the back of our base. Basically, one of our 277s has got fantastic map awareness and is going to make him regret doing that. And now we're just letting our artillery farm. Unfortunately, we've lost one of our artillery. The M48 tries to cross and gets instantly obliterated. The M48 fires a high explosive round. I mean, fair enough. As you can see here, their EBR is actually broken through the railway and is killing our artillery. Artillery on this, I'm not really bothered about the artillery surviving, so you actually miss a shot there. It's pretty bad play there. We're going to ram this EBR. He obviously doesn't have controlled impact on his EBR, or if he does, it's a lower skill. And we take out the enemy EBR. I did that not to save our artillery, to secure our rear. Because now what this does, nothing can counter me. We've got enough tanks blocking that M48 in. But I spy, with my little HE round, that there's two artillery I can go kill. I don't care about the pattern, I'm going straight for the artillery. We're losing the town fight. We get these two tanks out, our team doesn't have to waste time killing them, so we put a penetrating shot into the Conqueror gun carriage. As you can see here, we're just sort of evading. I decided to go for the bat chat. Hopefully he's not reloaded. He isn't reloaded. Unfortunately, we get a bit unlucky with the rolls here. We did manage to kill both of them. And we're just driving around. These artillery really can't do anything. Either this Conqueror is still reloading or he's absolutely terrified. There's a full health strip there, a 6 TP coming this way, so I decided to avoid that. Do a nice little ramp up kill there to kill the Batch F58. Now we've got the backside of a T57 Heavy, who appears to not be particularly aware that there's an EBR lurking behind him. But we're keeping HE loaded here because the back of the T57 is really poorly armoured. You see, we're feathering shot on the back of the turret. Unfortunately, it doesn't pen. So at that point, I decided we'd just go for the engine compartment. Obviously, I should have done that probably the second shot, but you know, oh well. You see that? 493 damage, and this guy can do nothing about it because he has to focus that E100. The E100 is the more pressing threat for him. Also, he's probably reloading. But as the game ends, very quick, not even 5 minutes, and we do nearly 3k damage in an EBR on Ensk. Not a great game, obviously. In terms of damage or spotting, I feel like I could have done a bit more spotting if I'd grabbed the bull by the horns a little bit more, but could have, should have, would have. But I feel like it's important to emphasise, especially that end game. I've talked a lot about the EBR being this tank that's got so much potential, and when that potential arises, it can do so much damage, both in terms of hit points and in terms of map control for your team, and you enforcing map denial. And I feel like that shows that their EBR tried to kill our artillery. He was trying to deny us our ability to shoot the enemy unhindered. He was trying to deny us the ability to get through to the enemy base without having to worry about an enemy EBR behind them. I took care of that EBR. I'm able to now push forward and deny the enemy ability to regroup, to keep their artillery firing, and to hold the city. Now, obviously, my actions, it didn't decide this game's outcome, but I feel like the point there is, we should emphasise. Like, I saw that our team was pushing down to K0. There's no point in me going to spot that pattern and potentially die. So I go kill the artillery. I go farm the heavy tanks that can't do anything because they've got to focus on more important things in front of them. After that game, let's move on to the second game of the video, which will be on Pilsen. So here we are, loading into the Pilsen game, and as you can see, we've got a pretty equal split of team skill here, and we're going to be taking our EBR to the right hand side to the coal dumps, I believe, and to the zero line. Zero line it's an interesting area. I feel like going down there, you've got to have tanks with big guns behind you, because likelihood is you go down there, you're not going to spot anything because it's so dense with the amount of bushes that are down there. The likelihood is if you're going to go down there, you're going to die. But being in an EBR, we're going to see that I can easily breach that side of the map very quickly, and I'm loading a HE round here because I expect the Manticore to be coming at me. Our STB, I'm hoping is we do a little bit of stunt driving there. As you can see, we're just using these ridges here just to try and get vision. The Manticore actually hasn't appeared, so I'm assuming he's on the zero line. I was hoping at the start that our STB would go down into the E0 position. That's sort of like the standard you go there, you win point, because at that point you can slowly progress, slowly spot things. You see the amount of bushes here. It makes it very dangerous but also very lucrative if you get it right, so you're actually heading down, keeping in the bushes. Our STB, just to mention, has an extremely funny name. If you look on the left hand side on the allied team list, the tank that says STB, I'm not going to say it because YouTube will hate me. As you can see there, we go up and we spot a grill and an STB. Their STB is actually moving into that position. But if I was in any other tank, I'd have probably lost a load of hit points there because I'm not as fast. We actually do take a shot from a TVP sitting there. This guy's got proper 5-head strats going there. And as you can see at this point, we've taken this side of the battlefield. You see the Manticore appears. Has a HE round loaded, because why not? And we spot 2 enemy Panzer 100s. Absolutely have a brown at the moment. I run away. Enemy Leopard above us, and this is a very precarious position. I'm already on half health. I haven't traded well this game for my hit points, as we're really high explosive around, expecting that Manticore to come back with someone. Speaking of, here he comes. He actually fires on the move and misses, so we can take our time now to make sure the HE round goes in. There we go, 477 damage. At this point, we're just keeping that Leopard spotted. At that point, he is irrelevant to the game. He can't poke out without dying. We're losing the city fight. They have a TVP out of the game. They have a Manticore that's doing interesting tactics, and our STB is winning the E0 fight against the enemy STB. We're trying to feather a shot on the Leopard here. using our 15 degrees of gun elevation, trying to work around to get him. As you can see, the shell actually goes green, but for some reason I moved to the left. I'm not entirely sure why, but we miss. As you can see, we're just... This is what I'm talking about ability of map denial. We're denying them the ability to farm our allies crossing in the open. Our allies can get to positions that are more influential to the game's victory. And they can't do anything about it, because they'll die. Or they'll lose a lot of health, which then again means our allies take map control, and it's easy for them to win. As you can see here now, I see that the areas get a bit hot, and I decide to pull back, realising that I'm not needed there anymore because the 140's there. And I want to keep myself alive as much as possible because I can see our team's losing the heavy tank fight. It has indeed lost the heavy tank fight now. By keeping myself alive there, I can push this flank a little bit more, maybe spot them. I can also exert my influence on the really slow heavy tanks that are there. See, enemy Jagdpanzer doesn't spot me because I'm in a bush. And see what I mean? Our team has retained a lot of their health and is able to move forward with enough tanks to kill what's in this north corner. So at this point I'm just looking and deciding what to do. I'm not going to go to the heavy tanks, they're all clustered up in a narrow space, so that'll just be a death sentence. The enemy leopard appears, make a clutch shot on the leopard, and we take him out. That's a very good result. That tank's very dangerous to keep alive even on low HP. We're reloading a HE round now for the back of this TVP. It's not going to kill him in one shot, but it's going to get us more damage and reduce the chance that the 30B doesn't make a low roll and not penetrate. And now we see that the enemy heavy tanks are quite low on health. Enemy Manticore pops up. See if we can put the shot into it. Where we managed to, the excellent shell velocity on these APCR rounds. And they actually have an AFK WZ113. And we're going to go over there and we're going to get him out of the game. Not to farm damage, but because he's actually still spotting people. AFK tank still spots friendly tanks. Plus there's also the possibility that he could wake up at some point and blast us all in the side with that gun. Fire on the move there, penetrating side. And as you can see, the enemy mouse is actually pushing the middle of the coalfields, the middle of the map. We're currently up. There's two Jagdpanzers still alive, so I think my next priority is going to be to reload a heat round and go after those Jagdpanzers or that mouse. You see the Jagdpanzer disappear. And now we're going to try and shoot him at long range. He's got no chance of spotting us even if we were just within view range, but he's outside of view range, so he won't spot us. Enemy mouse appears. We put a heat round to side. Unfortunately it doesn't penetrate. The object 140 is telling me to cap. There's no point in capping, you're basically removing me from the game, and at this point you need me to prod away this mouse. We've taken control of the north. We haven't taken control of the north. Our team's taken a long time to kill the two Jagdpanzers. Let's see, we're trying to feather a shot on this Jagdpanzer here. We actually put a very lucky shot in there. 431 damage, that puts him down to a one shot for our object 140, and well, for everything really. And my job here is to kill those Jagdpanzers. That means our team won't be caught in a crossfire. They can get around the back and they can kill them. But that means driving in front of this mouse. Luckily for us though, the mouse doesn't, I don't think it actually spots us. Driving across those, he's in the bushes. We're looking after the two Jagdpanzers. One's actually gone up there, but we're going to go around, we're going to try and kill this one. Luckily he dies beforehand. Now this is important. Our team is boxed in the corner, yes, the enemy has map control, but we still have a light tank. And we have a fast light tank that now has a lot of combat capability because the entire map is open. Now, what I would love here is to have all of my hit points back and not take those two shots. Unfortunately, the mouse appears there. I'm trying to evade him, and unfortunately for me, he misses. Now this mouse is caught in a crossfire. His armor becomes irrelevant because of my mobility and my heat rounds. I say irrelevant to a degree, obviously. But we need to kill this mouse quickly. See, put a shot into his rear. Want to pen the side of the turret. Our 268 picks up a fantastic kill on the Super Conqueror. That means that this mouse is on his own now. And this 268 needs to use his HP, needs to take the hit, kill this mouse quickly, And as you see, we're feathering a shot here. I rushed the shot a little bit. Very bad misplay here, that could be game losing. Unfortunately, the IS-4 and the 7058 are actually on low hit points. So what I decide here is I'm going to run away. That mouse is locked in position by that 140. I can go and kill those two heavy tanks, or at least I can get around the side of this mouse and I can start taking map control, start getting them in a crossfire. You know, they're slow tanks, I'm a fast EBR. The mouse can one-shot me if it rolls really high. The 705A can one-shot me, and the IS-4 can only one-shot me if it rolls really high. And now this is perfect. They're going after the 140. The 140 is spotting them, and I'm behind them. So we're going to feather a shot on this IS-4 first. Put the shot in. Unfortunately, it just tracks him. And now it goes unspotted. And this 140's moved to try and pick up the kill on the mouse. And admittedly I wait around here a bit too long. But I go forwards. There's the mouse, he's on 29 HP. Gonna go try and assist the 140 maybe, if he doesn't pick up the kill on that mouse. But then we spot the IS-4, and the IS-4 is actually priority target here. We fire a shot, it misses, and the IS-4 actually has a high explosive round loaded. And unfortunately it picks up the kill on us. I was so angry that IS-4 had a high explosive round loaded. IS-4 comes around the corner, the Object 140 fires on the move, IS-4 misses his HE round. Probably had the HE round loaded to one-shot the 140. Right, I'm back. My computer decided to go to sleep there. So I was saying yes, the 140 managed to pick up the kill on the IS-4. 140 gets spotted, but then continues driving forwards, and the 705A is going to back up, and he's actually going to put a HE shell into the back of the 140, or the upper part of his 140. And that 140 played really well up until then, so that he made such a misplay. You know, he has the mobility, has the view range, has the camo, has every advantage he needs over a one-shot 705A. But unfortunately, he panics a little bit. I don't know why he did that. Massive misplay there. I made some misplays this game. I should have moved closer. I got unlucky shooting the IS-4. I should have moved closer into the heavies. I should have moved away from the mouse sooner. I shouldn't have rushed the shot on the mouse. But all of that would have been irrelevant if, well, first of all, if the Manticore and the IS-4 weren't firing HE. I mean, if the Manticore was only firing AP, I could have probably survived the IS-4's HE round. The TVP hitting me at the start in that position, didn't expect anything to be there, let alone a TVP. But yeah, I feel like I made some misplays this game, as I said, and that would have probably allowed us to take down the win there. Even if the 140 had died, I still hold all the advantages, more advantages over that 705A. But I should have moved sooner. I did get a bit unlucky. 3.3k damage, 2.3k spotting, a pretty mediocre game. Good for Pilsen though. But now we're going to move on to Mountain Pass, and this game on Mountain Pass is interesting, let's say. So let's get into that now. So here we are for the Mountain Pass game. A pretty decent matchup. Bunch of tin 9s, 4 tier 10s, one of them 5 tier 10s, 2 of them being arty rather. But more importantly, we get the good spawn. What do I mean by the good spawn? Well, this map, I'm thinking of doing map reviews at some point, or like how to play certain maps. I will probably do that come next year when I move back to uni. But quick rundown here, this road down here that I'm highlighting in green, that is useless. Okay? You go down there, you get caught in this little box around here where I'm circling now. You get crossfire, you get shots from the middle if the enemy takes middle, which I'm doing now. And having to push up here, you push up into a crossfire from this line here, and you're pushing up a hill. The enemies have hull downs here. Opposite side, you have a hull down here, a hull down here, and a hull down here, which is a 3-way crossfire. And there's RT, it's slow terrain. it basically just becomes a big kill box. The bridge is narrow. Pretty much no point going there. You're going to get found by artillery. So what's the most important position on the map to take? Take this dip with your light tanks. And because we've got the south side, we take this ledge for free. This ledge gives straight crossfire up to here. To spot all the tanks I'm spotting now, as I've already lost some hit points to the enemy EBR. As he actually... I miss a shot, I shouldn't have auto-aimed that. This EBR... Yes, the EBR makes a great trade. That TVP saved me a lot of health there, so I'm saying thank you to him. I labelled this the meme game in my folder because there's some questionable decisions in this game. As you can see, we're actually putting shots in the STB, and this is what I mean. This STB's progressed so far up to here that he's going to get shot from here, he's going to get shot from here. He's also, if he pushes forward and he tries to take it in this part, he'll get shot from this ledge here. So basically, the south side is the good side. This ledge here, where this TVP and CS is game winning. You take this side of the map. Once you win this side of the map, here, you send stuff to the middle to spot this ledge up here. This stuff here shoots the ledge up here like this, and then you can progress around, and it's basically a GG at that point, unless you proper hard throw. Anyway, with that out of the way, so far we've taken control of the middle of the map. As see, we're looking for a shot on the STB. I don't hang around to take the shot because it'll be a bad trade for me. And now what we're doing is, the enemy can't push across the bridge with that 50 TP, he'll get shot in the side. The enemy can't push the dip because we've got tanks covering my back. The enemy can't push that side because they'll get shot by me in the side. And now it's just a case of waiting. I don't peek out because I don't know where the STB is looking. I want to get that UDES out of there. The UDES is sort of the main priority for me at this point. See the Conway appears, so I'm going to go forward. I'm going to put a shot into him with a fantastic gun handling, and I put 350 damage to it. With the Batchat on full health and the Batchat rushing me, the Batchat loses 900 health crossing, loses 1300, puts one shot into me. Actually goes for the ram there, but because we got controlled impact, we managed to pick up. We managed to kill him with a ram. And once again, that Batchat can't take me out of the game because we have control of the ledge. Simple. It's such a simple map, but it's so broken. And as you can see now, I've got a free farm with these guys because their UDES has moved. Unfortunately, we don't pick up the kill on the Conway because we get a low roll. But these guys can't spot me. I believe the STB could, but I think he's in a bush at the moment. So we pull back, aim the gun, and pick up a shot on the Conway. And that's it really. At this point, the game's not won. But if I was to take a bet, so we put a fantastic shot into the Conqueror at that, I would say that we're going to win this game, just because of the amount of map control we've taken. We've won the south side now. I realise that we've won the south side. So, they've got 50 TP there, and I don't know where their T30 is at base. They've got a Scourge T50, which you see we're going to pick up the kill on this STB, allow our team to progress that flank a bit more. That's what EBR does. It's just like, oh, you're having trouble dealing with this flank? Let me help you out there. That's what it does. I get the feeling that the UDES is going to come for me, so I back out. That would be a smart play for the UDES to come for me, take me out of the game, then he can either outflank, but if that UDES would come for me, he denies me the middle of the map, and he takes all potential control. I really should make a dictionary, really, of like what I mean by all of this potential control and whatnot. That's just my inner field commander coming out, and inner military historian. I see now that this UDES is on low health. I can go out to spot the 261. I stop, make sure this shot hits the UDES. I kill the UDES. And I wonder where the Skoda is. I'm thinking the Skoda's on the hill, so I'm looking at that. Turns out the Skoda's actually in the bushes there. He's reloading for a while, so I put a shot in. He actually isn't reloading. He misses 2 shots. I think he fired all 3 actually, so I go out. Put another HE round into him, and at this point I don't want to go out because I wasn't unsure whether it would be reloaded. I am a one shot, but at this point I've got the mobility to outplay this guy. Come out. Unfortunately we don't pen him, hits his tracks. At this point he's locked in. The game's won. The game was won 2 minutes ago arguably. The TVP invites me to a platoon to get a Brothers in Arms medal. goes around the corner, finds a Conqueror gun carriage. The Conqueror gun carriage finds him. But it's fine, this game's won. I found the CGC. HE round, unfortunately doesn't pen. I'm looking to the left thinking the GW is going to be up there, but he isn't. And then we just use our mobility, use our mobility and put a shot into the GW Tiger, and there we go. 4.2k damage in 6 minutes, 2.1k spotting, and it was all because we took that side. And we had that side, we took the dip, we had a good TVP that covered me from above. Basically textbook how you want to play the EBR. It's not just a scout, it's also a combat vehicle. It's a fantastic combat vehicle. And that's how you need to utilise it. Anyway, with that being said, let's take a look at the post-game stats for these 3 replays. So the first game we have on Ensk is a victory, 2nd class medal. Obviously not expecting anything more than that. It's a pretty simple victory really. I wouldn't say we were influential in this game, just I thought I should showcase this because you'll hear a lot of people saying that light tanks are useless on city maps. Well, they're not. If we have a look at what we did to the artillery, we can't actually see, but we did a lot of criticals to him. We come 5th on the team on damage in a light tank. Fantastic result. We become above an E100 at Krangvang at 277. In terms of experience, 3rd on team on experience, very good game, and I'm not going to complain. Shells, I didn't really expect. We missed a lot, but because we were always on the move. So a pretty mediocre game. Happy with this, although given the circumstances. Move on to Pilsen. Bit of a heartbreak really, because I was hoping to win that game. And I totally lost that game for our team. 4th on the team on damage, top on experience. Their IS-4 had a fantastic game. Look at that, 7,000 damage. Blocking 5,300 as well. Lucky boy. Surviving that shot that we put to the rear. Their Jagdpanzers didn't do much in terms of damage, but they did much in terms of holding us back. Their 140 had a good game until he sort of threw at the end, but I feel I should have done more. Being the tank that was free to move around the map and has the best mobility, I should have been able to take this game down, but there's only so much you can do when RNG tells you no. 2.3k spotting, pretty average. But then we move on to the meme game. We get a 1st class medal, we get a tank sniper. Makes sense, right? Somehow. 4.2k spotting, 2.1k damage. I mean, just look at, EBR, he's suicided, Batchat suicided. We did so much this game. We weren't top on damage, that went to the TVP that got that had that experience with the artillery. But you remove the EBR from the equation, or you remove me from the equation, they'd have taken that dip. And the TVP, yes, would have been able to hold on, but I don't think would have been as influential as what it could have been. And I don't think with us two doing half as well as we did, we'd have won that game. 1100 base experience, pretty decent. Made a nice profit as well. Don't expect to make a profit in the EBR unless you have a monster game. If you want to do well, you've either got to use coffee or use a directive. But yeah, overall, EBR, fantastic tank. If you know how to play it, I've highlighted in this video and in my tank review how to play it. Yeah, it's good fun, and I hope this video has shown the EBR's capabilities and its potential to just wreak havoc among the enemy. But if you did enjoy this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for some more videos. Probably the next World of Tanks video I'll do is maybe the map tactics is probably what I'm going to call it. It's probably the next one I'll do. F1 videos will be coming out soon, hopefully, once I start uploading them. Yeah, I'll catch you all for some new videos very soon.